Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom. You don't need to shout to command a room. You don't need to fight to earn respect. Sometimes all it takes is the way you stand, the way you move, and most importantly, the way you remain still. A Stoic knows that true strength is silent. Respect isn't begged for, it's inspired. And your body language speaks long before your words ever will. In a world overflowing with noise, chaos, and fake bravado, your calm presence becomes a rare force. A man who governs his movements governs his mind, and a man who governs his mind earns the respect of others without saying a word. Here are 6 body language secrets every Stoic man should master to earn and keep the respect of anyone, anywhere. In a world where people are constantly in motion, fidgeting, adjusting, reacting, the man who remains still becomes instantly noticeable. Stillness speaks volumes. It signals that you are not controlled by your environment. You are not in a rush, not seeking approval, and not anxious about being seen. Instead, you are grounded, rooted in calm and clarity. This stillness is a reflection of inner control, something most people lack, and because of that, it earns immediate respect. People unconsciously interpret stillness as power. The man who doesn't need to move to prove himself has already won half the battle. When you walk into a room, resist the urge to adjust your clothes, check your phone, or move aimlessly. Be intentional. Stand firmly. Let your arms rest by your sides or clasped loosely. Keep your breath steady. This isn't about pretending to be composed. It's about becoming composed by mastering your impulses. Even during conversations, resist the urge to constantly nod, gesture excessively, or shift your weight back and forth. These small, uncontrolled movements may seem harmless, but they subtly signal insecurity. A Stoic man understands that self-mastery begins with the body, and when the body is still, the mind is clear. Stillness is not lifelessness. It is energy under control, a coiled strength that does not need to prove itself, and those around you feel it. They might not understand why, but they will respect you more, because stillness forces others to become aware of themselves. It reflects their own restlessness back at them, and in that contrast, your discipline becomes admirable. The world is loud and jittery. Be the calm center. Let your stillness become your strength. Let your restraint be your power. And from that place, respect is no longer requested. It is given freely. There is a quiet strength in a man who holds eye contact without flinching. It is not a stare of intimidation, nor a glare of challenge, but a steady gaze rooted in presence. Eye contact reveals more than words ever can. It shows whether you are confident or unsure, grounded or scattered, calm or insecure. A Stoic man uses eye contact not to dominate, but to demonstrate presence. A signal that he is fully here, fully aware, and completely unafraid of being seen. That alone is rare in today's world, and people respect it immediately. Most people break eye contact too quickly. They look down, glance around, or shift their gaze nervously. Why? Because holding it means being seen without masks, and many are not comfortable in that kind of exposure. But the man who has nothing to hide in, not because he is perfect, but because he is at peace, does not flinch. He meets the gaze of another not with aggression, but with clarity. His eyes say, "I am here. I am listening. I am not intimidated." When you engage someone, let your eyes speak before your mouth does. Let them know you are not chasing approval nor seeking validation. You are simply present. You do not scan the room looking for someone more important. You do not glance at your phone when others speak. Your attention is a gift, and when you give it fully, people recognize its value. Eye contact is not about control. It's about connection. But that connection must come from a calm, centered place within. When your gaze is steady, people instinctively trust you more, respect you more, and respond to you differently. In that moment, without a single word, you've already made an impression, and it's one they won't forget. Speed often betrays desperation. The need to react quickly, to turn instantly when someone calls your name or enters a room, reflects a mind that is too easily pulled by external forces. The man who turns slowly, who shifts his attention with intention, not impulse, instantly communicates something deeper, that he is in control of himself. The slow turn is subtle, but it carries immense psychological weight. It tells others that you are not easily moved, not easily impressed, and certainly not easily shaken. This is not arrogance. This is presence. A Stoic man understands that his attention is sacred. He does not give it away hastily. When someone addresses him, he does not whip his head around in urgency. Instead, he pauses, acknowledges, and then turns with poise. That delay, even if only half a second, shows that he remains the master of his movements. His world does not spin just because someone else demands it. People notice these cues, often unconsciously. When you rush to react, you place yourself beneath others, as if their presence outweighs your own. But when you maintain your pace, even in turning to respond, you communicate that you are grounded, that your time, energy, and attention are deliberate. And because of that, people instinctively respect you more. In Stoicism, discipline in motion is a reflection of discipline in thought. The way you move through the world mirrors how you process it. Quick reactions signal chaos. Calm movements reveal control. The slow turn is not for show, it's for the soul. It reminds you that you answer on your terms. And it reminds others that your attention is not demanded, it is earned. The way a man carries himself speaks long before his voice does. Posture is the language of presence. A slouched back, folded arms, or inward stance signal submission, doubt, or a desire to disappear. But when a man stands tall, shoulders relaxed yet firm, chest open and chin level, he takes up space with calm certainty. Not as a threat, not as an attempt to dominate, but as a quiet declaration. I belong here. I am centered. I do not shrink for anyone. This is not about puffing your chest or exaggerating your size. That is insecurity in disguise. True confidence is effortless. The Stoic man does not seek to overpower. He seeks to align with nature. And nature does not apologize for its presence. A tree grows upward. A mountain does not bow. So too should a man occupy his space with dignity and strength. Controlled posture is about awareness. It's a physical reminder to remain alert, not only in body but in mind. When your body is aligned, your thoughts follow. You breathe better, think clearer, and respond more intentionally. Others feel this energy. They sense your discipline without needing explanation. In meetings, in conversations, even in silence, your posture tells the room you are not here by accident. You are not seeking approval. You are embodying stability. And in a world where most are either trying too hard to be seen or desperately trying to hide, your relaxed, powerful posture becomes magnetic. It doesn't scream for respect where it commands it. Not because you demand attention, but because your presence reveals that you've already mastered yourself. And people instinctively trust the man who holds himself like he's already enough. Ends here. A world addicted to noise and instant reactions. The man who pauses before he speaks becomes a rare and powerful presence. That pause, just a few seconds of silence, carries more authority than a rush of words ever could. It signals control, not hesitation. It shows that you are not reacting impulsively, but responding deliberately. The pause is not about silence alone, but about the weight you give your words. And in that weight, people find respect. Most speak to fill space, to avoid discomfort, or to impress. But the Stoic man does not fear silence. He welcomes it. He uses it as a tool, not a weakness. When you wait before responding, even briefly, you show that your words are not automatic. They are filtered through reason. That space you create is where clarity lives. It is where power is forged. Because only the man who is in control of his emotions can hold back his tongue long enough to let wisdom speak first. This pause also shifts the dynamic in conversation. When you don't rush to answer, people begin to lean in. They wait. They listen. Not just because of what you're about to say, but because of how you say it. You create tension, but not through aggression. through restraint, and that restraint commands attention. The Stoics taught that it is better to say little with meaning than to say much with confusion. The pause is your ally. It slows time, sharpens thought, and magnifies presence. You don't need to speak quickly to sound smart. You need to speak wisely to sound strong. And that strength begins in the space between stimulus and response, in the calm, confident pause that tells the world you are not just reacting, you are leading. The face reveals more than any words ever could. It is the mirror of the mind. When a man cannot control his expressions, when his eyes widen with surprise, his lips twitch with discomfort, or his brows furrow with anger, he becomes an open book, easily read and easily manipulated. But the Stoic man learns to master his face just as he masters his emotions. His calm exterior reflects an even calmer interior. He does not flinch, smirk, or overreact. His face remains composed, not because he is hiding, but because he is centered. In conversation, people constantly search for clues, signs of approval, disapproval, interest, or weakness. Your face, even in silence, speaks volumes. A man who keeps his expressions measured, who resists the urge to perform or please, instantly earns respect. It shows that he is not desperate to be understood, nor is he emotionally fragile. He listens with focus, responds with clarity, and lets his calm presence do most of the talking. Controlled facial expressions are not about being emotionless. They are about being intentional. You choose when to smile, when to raise an eyebrow, when to respond with subtlety rather than exaggeration. This choice gives you power. It shows that you are not a slave to your impulses. You are observant, restrained, and in control, and people respect those who are not easily moved by the winds of emotion. A Stoic knows that true strength is quiet. It does not need to show itself in every expression. And when you master your face, you master the image you present to the world. Others begin to wonder what you're thinking, how you stay so composed, and what gives you that quiet edge. And that mystery, born from self-mastery, is what commands deep and lasting respect.